Greetings viewers, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we are back on the white 2010 Outback 2.5i. In today's video, we're gonna be doing the rear brake replacement and serpentine belt replacement. We have the camshaft sensor on order. It's currently back order from Subaru and will be several days, so the customer's gonna bring it back later to have that done. And we will be dealing with those oil leaks and the control arm bushings at a later date as well. With that said, let's go ahead and get to the repairs. So starting off quick and easy with our serpentine belt replacement. Part number is 809221140. All we really need to do is pop up these two clips, the belt guard here, and a longer 14mm wrench for our automatic belt tensioner. And that's basically all you need other than your two hands to change the serpentine belt out. Which for some reason 14mm is not fitting, but a 15mm will. So I'm not sure if that's due to corrosion or what, because that should be a 14mm being a Subaru. So we'll go ahead and pop our old crusty serpentine belt off and show you real quick why we're replacing this belt. Obviously, lots of little cracks and tears and starting to come apart on the backside. It's just past its prime compared to our nice new belt. All right, let's go ahead and throw our new belt on there. We'll run it around our crankshaft pulley up to our AC compressor. Around the alternator. Around the idler pulley, and then get it lined up to go around the power steering pump. And all we got to do is rotate our tensioner and slide it up over that power steering pump pulley. And just like so. Always a good idea while you have the belt off to free spin your tensioner pulley, your idler pulley, alternator, power steering pump, all that stuff, and listen for any abnormal noises. So now let's go ahead and get to our rear brakes, but first we got to put our belt guard back on. Which pops on just like so, and push down the caps. So another day, another Subaru rear brake job. Let's go ahead and knock this out so I can get it back to the customer. $14mm bolts for the caliper. I'll go ahead and knock the 12mm bolt loose, holding our brake hose in place. Give us a little more slack there. Go ahead and get our caliper hanger. And hang our caliper up, as we don't want to let it hang by the brake hose. Not good for it. So let's go ahead and get these old brake pads out of here. And we got just about all the good out of those. A little bit of life left, but really really down to the wire here. So 14 mil on the back. For the caliper bracket. These are a lot easier to replace than the older rear brake setups where you had to go through the spindle with your bolt. Much easier out in the open on these. Good, and pull that off, set that to the side. Well, let's see if our rotor is going to play nice and come off or if it's going to be a pain. Go ahead and pop this plug out as the new rotor won't come with it. So we don't have the parking brake on. Always a good idea not to put the parking brake on before you try to pull the rotors on the rear. Go ahead and put our brake hose hold down bolt into our rotor and see if we can get it turned and press off of our hub. And luckily it's not rusted on there. And off, just like so. And we can toss that in the scrap metal pile. Now we'll go ahead and open up our new brake rotor, which is a part number 26700FG000, and pull out our nice shiny and coated rear brake rotor. Go ahead and pop our cover back in for our parking brake. Go ahead and give ourselves a shot of brake parts cleaner to get the cosmoline off. Don't forget to hit the inside and wear your parking brake shoes. Ride. Nice clean rag, brake parts cleaner. Good to go. I'm probably going to get the old hub buddy out and hit that hub really quick. Not too much corrosion at all, but might as well while we're here. I'll pop our hub buddy on our impact. Just like so. Not too bad. A little bit of crustiness around the center bore of the hub there, but that was about it. Let's slide our fresh brake rotor on there. Give it a love tap to seat it. Again, nice shot of brake parts cleaner. Get that cosmoline off of there. And go ahead and wipe her with a rag. Then we'll go ahead and open up our rear brake pad kit, which is Subaru part number 26696AG031. And that'll have our new rear pads, our caliper and pad grease, and our new shims and our hardware. A lot of people ask me why I use factory parts only, and the longer I do this, the more and more I appreciate factory only parts. So many headaches in the past with aftermarket parts and just fitment issues and all kinds of mess, and you know, you just can't beat the fit and finish of a factory part. And you know, you just do it once, do it right, and don't have to worry about it. So there's that. We even get our own little grease packet with it. And honestly, you're hard pressed to beat the price of these rear pad kits at the parts houses. I think this rear pad kit was like 80 bucks or so. I think the rear rotors were about 100 a piece. So not too bad. So what we want to do on our caliper bracket is check that our slide pins are nice and free and not stuck. This one's a little stuck, but we'll pull this boot back, pull these pins out, clean them with some brake parts cleaner, and re-grease them with some caliper grease. We'll go ahead and pop out our crusty old brake pad shims here. Take a wire brush, clean that out real good, put our new shims in there, grease them up, and get ready to put the pads back on. So greased up our slide pins, hit the channels down here with a wire brush. I'm gonna go ahead and pop our new shims in there. Nice shiny goodness. Just pop them in till they clip in, seat all the way. And ready to go back on the car now. And we'll grab the torque wrench for the final torque on this, which off the top of my head, I believe is 66 Newton meters, but don't hold me to that. And just snug them up for now. So now we need to grab our brake pads. And if I recall correctly, our brake pad with the squealer tab is our inboard pad. We need to figure out what collection of backing plates assembles for this. Looks like on this one we just need these little baby pads or clips. Usually there's two pads, a silver and a black one, like on the outer ones, but looks like we only got the one on this setup. So you will want to put a little bit of grease on the pad, put your clip in place, and then a little bit of grease on the outside of that so you don't have any squeals or squeaks as the piston push it against this, or on the outside pad as the little ears of the caliper ride on that pad. Also, don't forget to put a little bit of lube on the ears here where they ride and slide in and out in the shims. So just like so, just a light coating of the gold grease put on that little piece of metal, and a little bit of gold grease on your ears. And we're ready to put that pad into place. So inner pad is on. Now on the outer pad, same deal, a little bit of the gold grease. We'll then put our silver piece here, a little bit of grease here, then our black piece here, a little bit of grease on the outside, put it on the ears or the ends and pop it into place. All right, and just like so, a little bit on the ears, put it on the pad, silver piece, then the black piece. Again, never get it on the friction material. And we'll just slide it on up into its spot, just like so. Now we need to take our piston compressor and compress the piston for the brake caliper and slap it back on there. Always check before compressing your piston that you take the cap off of the brake fluid brake fluid reservoir, suck any fluid out that you need to, because as you press this in, the fluid level will rise and it can overflow. And for those of you that asked in the last video, this is a Snap-on BTC P400 brake caliper compressor. And once that's nice and compressed back, I'm gonna go ahead and slide it in place. And careful when doing so that you don't knock off your little shims, or not shims, the little, well, I guess they are shims, that go between the outside of the brake pad and the caliper. Go ahead and snug those up. We'll grab the torque wrench and we'll torque all of our bolts down, and we'll be ready to move to the passenger side. And on this outer side, we kind of went a little overboard with the gold grease. You really just need to put it behind the two ears here of the caliper. You really don't have to cover the whole thing. All right, so that's all tight. We can go ahead and throw our 12 mil hold down bolt in for our brake hose. Tighten that down as well. And we'll go ahead and get the torque wrench and torque everything to spec, put the wheel and tire back on. So guys, quick correction on that. On the inner pad, you double stack these two. On the outer pad, it's just this one right here. So I went ahead and fixed that. Now, torque for our brake caliper bracket bolts is 66 Newton meters. And our torque for our caliper bolts is 27 Newton meters. So because of this brake line, we got to use a torque adapter here on the torque wrench. And now that's set, we can go ahead, put the wheel and tire on, and go to the other side of the car. So guys, there you have it. New serpentine belt and new rear brakes on this 2010 Outback 2.5i Premium. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. I'll see you all in the next one.